Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Day. I'm the CEO of the Atlas Society. As you've probably seen recently in the media, it has now been confirmed that the IRS has been targeting applications from certain groups based on keywords in their name and in the description of the issues that the groups addressed. Tea Party, Patriot, government debt, government spending, taxes, criticize how the country is being run, make America a better place to live, educating on the Constitution and Bill of Rights. These are all specific keywords or phrases that the government has targeted. And in certain cases, the IRS has asked for donor lists and detailed information from Facebook pages. It's now been documented the IRS also leaked confidential information on conservatives to the liberal media group ProPublica. The IRS official who led the tax-exempt organizations when Tea Party groups were targeted is now in charge of the IRS office responsible for Obamacare. And so with that, today it's my pleasure to discuss the situation with Jason Sorens, the founder of the Free State Project in New Hampshire. Jason is an assistant professor in the political science department at the University of Buffalo. At SUNY, he's been an affiliated scholar with the Mercatus Center at George Mason University since 2008. And if you haven't seen this, I highly recommend that you see Freedom in the 50 States, which Jason co-authored. It's an index of personal and economic freedom. You can find that at freedominthefiftystates.org. Sorens received his BA in economics and philosophy with honors from Washington and Lee University and his PhD in political science from Yale University. So with that, Jason, thank you for agreeing to do the interview. Can you give the audience a brief background on the Free State Project?
Sure. So the Free State Project came about as an idea that I had when I was a graduate student. And the idea was to leverage the political influence of people who believe in robust individual liberty and limited government by having them move to a single low population state and get active in the political process. And what ended up happening was the first 5,000 people who signed up for the Free State Project were able to vote on our destination state. And New Hampshire was the clear winner of that vote. And so since then, we've been trying to get to 20,000 signatures from people willing to move and to recruit people to move early to New Hampshire. The way it works is that if you sign up now, once we reach 20,000 signatures, you have 5 years to move to New Hampshire, but over 1,000 people have already moved to New Hampshire.
Well, that's great. When did you say you found it? Or did I...
Where did I found it?
Well, when did you found it?
It was in July 2001 was when I wrote the original essay that kicked this whole thing off.
Okay, great. What is your current role with the Free State Project?
I actually don't have any formal role right now. I've done several things in the Free State Project over the years, but I'm currently taking a break from leadership roles. But I do go around the country speaking about the FSP as demanded.
Okay, great. What is the current status of the organization? What type of legal structure does the organization have?
Well, the Free State Project is incorporated as a nonprofit in New Hampshire, but as far as the IRS is concerned, we're just a generic C Corp, they call it. So we have to file taxes in the same way that a for-profit corporation would. We don't end up having any tax liability because we always end up spending more than we get in actual sales, and we're able to count donations to our organization, and we're able to deduct those. So we don't have any tax liability, but we have in the past sought tax-exempt status as a signal to donors and our participants and the media and other interested people to show that, well, we're serious about our nonprofit mission, and we're holding ourselves accountable in these ways. And so originally we actually applied for 501c3 status, which is for charitable public benefit organizations. So say that the Cato Institute or the Reason Foundation would be examples of 501c3s, and 501c3s have the benefit of being able to offer their donors tax deductions. So if you donate to a 501c3, you can deduct that from your taxes. But the IRS initially denied our 501c3 application, and we quickly decided that we were probably a better fit for 501c4, which has fewer benefits. You can't offer your donors tax deductions, but it's still a tax-exempt status and an important signal. So we then applied for 501c4 status, and as I recall, our application went through that Cincinnati office. This was in about 2007, 2008, if I remember correctly. And we applied. Our application was denied at the lowest level, and the reason that they gave was that they considered us a political action organization. They believed that we were simply aimed at winning elections for the Libertarian Party, and that was what we were given as the response to our application. So we appealed that decision to a higher level, still within the IRS, and were denied again, more or less on the same grounds. We provided them a great deal of evidence that we're not an action organization. We don't run candidates. We don't endorse candidates. We don't give money to candidates. We don't even lobby. We don't endorse issue positions. All we're doing is promoting New Hampshire as a destination for people who are, philosophically pro-liberty. So it seems very clear to us that we are a social welfare organization. That is, an organization dedicated to the collective benefit of a certain group of people. And not an action organization. But the IRS didn't share that view, and so we do not have that tax-exempt status.
Are you still trying to obtain the 501c4 status now?
My understanding, although I'm not on the board of directors of the Free State Project any longer, my understanding is that the board of directors is actually going to try again for 501c3 status. And pursue that, and as I understand it, they brought on some additional legal help, and they believe that the educational aspects of the FSP are significant enough that the FSP should qualify as a public benefit organization. So we'll see what happens with that. The FSP does hold 2 annual conferences, and in fact a majority of the FSP's budget goes to those 2 conferences that bring in speakers that educate about liberty, about all kinds of things, even about sustainable agriculture and things like that. So, in a sense, the FSP is a public benefit organization, and I think there's a case to be made that the FSP would even qualify as a 501c3.
Okay, so you mentioned you attempted the 501c4 in the 2008 timeframe. When did you apply for 501c3 status originally?
That original application was, I'm going to say, 2003, and then we might have gotten a rejection in 2004, and then retooled to make that a 501c4 application.
Wow, so you've been working on the 501c4 for, I guess, 5 years. That's on and off for 5 years. That's absolutely amazing. Do you think the Free State Project will ultimately obtain nonprofit status?
It's hard to say. I hope that it will this time. In the past, we have not had a large budget or specialized legal help, and for that reason, when we ran into obstacles, we decided not to appeal things to the courts. Hopefully this time, I know that the FSP is getting better legal assistance, and so hopefully the application will sail through.
Great. What do you think will be the outcome of this whole IRS scandal?
Well, it's a good question. It sounds as if the higher-ups are certainly saying that this was just being done by some local low-level employees in that Cincinnati office. And if they can pin it on them, then there may be even prosecutions for their behavior. On the other hand, facing prosecution, these employees may be willing to talk. And And so we may find that there is something a bit higher up going on here. My view is that the IRS is institutionally hostile to our types of organizations, and so it's not surprising that this kind of thing would happen. It was probably considered no big deal at the time. And, I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't direct orders from above, because there didn't need to be. It was just sort of understood that these organizations need to be vetted very closely.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, one last question. So when are you planning on moving to New Hampshire yourself?
I'm moving in the summer. I've got a job in New Hampshire that starts in the fall, and we're sort of keeping that on the down low for now, what exactly that is, but we're looking forward to moving for sure.
Okay, well, fantastic. Well, thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you at PorkFest if you're going to be there in June. And for everyone else to learn more about the Free State Project, you can visit freestateproject.org. And to learn more about their annual PorkFest event, please visit www.porkfest.com. The event this year will be held from June the 17th through the 23rd in Lancaster, New Hampshire. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot, Aaron.
Have a good one.